I'm Sophia Galbraith and will be speaking on World War I. Leading up to the First World War, there were many factors that can be seen and recognized to play a role in its beginning, although one event steals the show for being the ultimate catalyst contributing to the start of the war. Some of the major factors that led to the war included nationalism, imperialism, militarism, and alliances, all things that led people to be confident in their country's military capabilities and develop a desire for war. Although these leading causes are significant, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary is known most famously for leading to the war.
On June 28, 1914, this assassination occurred in Sarajevo, Bosnia, and a Serbian terrorist organization that wanted Bosnia to be free from the rule of Austria-Hungary was thought to be at fault. Because Austria-Hungary already had a tense relationship with Serbia, they saw this as justification for their hate towards Serbia and decided it was time to take action.
Exactly 1 month later, on July 28th, Austria-Hungary decided to declare war on Serbia, despite it being unknown if the Serbian government was actually involved in the assassination at all. This event can truly be signified as the start of the action of World War I. With the World War beginning, both sides sought help from the other supporting countries, forming two separate and famous alliances. The Serbian side was supported by Russia, France, and Great Britain under the Triple Entente, and Austria-Hungary formed the Triple Alliance with Germany and Italy. In the beginning of August, much war was being declared constantly, with Germany declaring war on Russia, France, and Belgium, Britain declaring war on Germany, Austria-Hungary declaring war on Russia, France and Britain declaring war on Austria-Hungary, Japan declaring war on Germany, and Austria-Hungary declaring war on Belgium.
Despite all current conflicts, the only thing the United States declared was its neutrality.
War has been declared by many countries. Let's talk about the general fighting going on both the Western Front and the Eastern Front. Now, the Western Front can be seen as a bit more boring or stagnant, as there wasn't much movement going on, but it does mean we get to discuss trenches. On the Western Front, the German Schefflin Plan called for the Germany army to make a vast encircling movement through Belgium into northern France. Although they believed this was a master plan, they were quickly halted a short distance from Paris at the First Battle of Marne.
Here, the French and German soldiers would remain at war, not mobile, in trenches built for shelter for quite a while, with trenches eventually extending to become much longer, deeper, and more complex. Here, machine guns and barbed wire fences became of great use, as did aircrafts used for combat. Here, me and my brother are attempting to demonstrate what trench warfare might have looked like during the times of World War I. Hope you enjoy!
Contrasting the Western Front, the Eastern Front was much more mobile, with the Russians initially moving into eastern Germany, suffering defeat at multiple battles, then losing their threatening status.
This next video is my younger brother Austin attempting to demonstrate mobilization.
Germany initially was met with great success against the Russians. Germany's ally, Austria-Hungary, was not as fortunate, being defeated by the Russians and betrayed by the Italians, who joined the other side. However, the Germans helped Austria-Hungary defeat the Russians, almost kicking them out of the war completely, and successfully eliminating Serbia from the war altogether. As time went on, the war eventually continued to widen, and in addition to the current battles going on in numerous countries, even more countries and nations began to join in, with Bulgaria entering on the side of the Central Powers, and the British fighting back against the Central Powers, mobilizing troops from India, Australia, and New Zealand. Japan also began assisting the Allies, fighting against Germany and its side of the war.
Then, on May 7, 1915, German forces sank the British ship Lusitania using unrestricted submarine warfare, and about 1,100 civilians, including more than 100 Americans, died. This began the American spark that led to their entry into World War I, although they first protested against the acts, with Germans obliging and suspending unrestricted submarine warfare. However, in early 1917, the Germans once again brought back the use of unrestricted submarine warfare, which, in combination with the secret messages intercepted by the British that would negatively affect the U.S., led to the entry of the United States into the World War I in April of 1917.
fighting, Germany signs the armistice at Compiègne, having been given 72 hours to agree to Allied demands, ending World War I.
Following this act, more peace treaties, conferences, and regulations between countries were created, and on July 28, 1919, Allied and German representatives signed the Treaty of Versailles, which then took effect in 1920. However, the United States refused to ratify this peace treaty. But in 1921, the United States did sign a separate peace treaty with Germany, Austria, and Hungary. Thank you for your time and attention. Hope you enjoyed.